The Constitution is idiot-proof. That's right, why the Constitution is designed the way it is. Any freaking idiot can become the President of the United States and just follow the instructions, follow the directions. Just do what it says in the Constitution. Don't do executive orders. Don't override it. We don't want your opinion on things. Just follow the Constitution, and any freaking idiot can be President of the United States. It's not a tough job, actually. You just follow the directions.
If Trump gets elected, is anything crazy, madness, horrible going to happen? Or is he really just only has so much power, like you said?
There's so much speculation around this. I mean, I guess, for example, I was thinking about it today. If he follows through on what he says he's going to do, I would think a company like Apple would be in severe trouble because they've got hundreds of billions of dollars parked out overseas to avoid tax. And they don't hire anybody in America. They hire slave labor in China. So Trump would, if he follows through on what he's going to say, look, you've got to bring that money back in right now, or we're going to fine you the imputed tax, the equivalent tax, and et cetera. Now, why wouldn't he do that? I mean, that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do. There's no justification for what Apple does with their balance sheet and with their labor practices. That's completely unjustified. It's completely un-American. So a company like that could find itself under severe stress. Now, of course, that would mean the stock market, NASDAQ and the stock market, if these types of standards of excellence were applied, would crash because it's been running on dodgy accounting and fraud for 30 years, financed by that bull market in bonds, meaning interest rates have gone cheaper every year for 30 years. Every time you make a mistake on Wall Street, you simply repackage it, resell it, and extend the maturity.
Right.
So that has allowed folks to, the situation we have today. There's no law on Wall Street. You go to Lloyd Blankfein or Jamie Dimon and you say, look, you guys committed this fraud, you committed that fraud. They'll say, look, we'll just pay us a fine. We'll put that into our quarterly numbers. We'll finance it on the markets. It's cheaper anyway because interest rates just went down. They're going to negative interest rates. So the cost of fraud is not only at the historic lows, it's getting to the point where they pay you to commit fraud. Right. That's what negative interest is all about. Deutsche Bank, one of the most corrupt, nonsensical, bankrupt, insolvent, lunatic organizations, is technically insolvent, but ECB, Mario Draghi, says not only are we going to finance your fraud, we're going to pay you to commit fraud by availing the negative interest rate scenario. So
you're saying Trump will crash the stock market?
Definitely.
Okay.
But so what?
And we're waiting for this correction to happen, and something like Trump coming in and demanding, real accounting practices, moving money back into the states, stop employing Chinese labor could be the thing that triggers things.
Yeah, if he follows through on what he says he's going to follow through on, he wants to audit the Fed. He says, what does that mean? I mean, it just means that the Fed is an institution that runs itself like a hedge fund. It's not designed to be run like a hedge fund. They're leveraged 50, 60, 70 to 1. So any 1% move, 2% move in the underlying value of the assets that they bought to bail out Wall Street would mean they'd have to become totally insolvent in one day. Like an Enron. It's like the Federal Reserve Bank is the Enron of Washington, D.C., but much bigger.
I've never heard it put that way, but some very good points there. All right.
I can make good points.
I know.
Occasionally. It's not all about pancakes and cat piss.
And the Business Accelerator program.
All right. And the business,
now, this is the Bitcoin.